What's up, co-reporters, and welcome back to my channel. The divorce between rapper Jeezy and daytime talk show host Jeannie Mai just keeps getting uglier. The latest news in their divorce, according to RadarOnline.com, is that Jeezy is asking the judge to disqualify Jeannie Mai's lawyers from the case. Jeannie Mai isn't represented by just anybody, you guys. She is represented by some of the top attorneys in all of Atlanta, whose names I'm sure you might recognize, especially Randall Kessler, and he's got his associate or his partner, Stephen Curson, up there as well. Randall Kessler has worked with many celebrities. I believe that includes Tamar Braxton, just to name one. And so let's talk about why exactly it is that Jeezy wants for Jeannie's lawyers to be disqualified from the case. I think it's going to make you guys laugh because, listen, Jeezy does have a point that Jeannie challenging the prenup with the same lawyers who oversaw her signing of the prenup doesn't really make that much sense. And that is what it all comes down to. According to Jeezy, well, let's back it up before even then. Jeannie Mai recently asked the judge to suspend the submission of the prenup into their divorce dispute right now. She's not saying that the prenup is invalid or anything like that. She's just saying don't enter it into the divorce for the time being. Okay. And so the reason being, she's claiming that she didn't have enough time to properly look over that prenup before getting married to Jeezy. According to Jeannie, she only had about 5 days to read over that prenup before signing it. And it's for that reason that she's not yet ready for it to be admitted into the court. So, what exactly was Jeannie missing? According to her representatives, she didn't have time to go through Jeezy's finances to make sure that the prenup that he proposed to her was even fair within those 5 days. And so now, Jeezy, he has run out of patience for Jeannie Mai. He just filed a motion, and this is what it had to say, and I quote, Mai's questioned not only the financial disclosures made by Jeezy attached to the prenuptial agreement, but also the totality of the negotiating process, lamenting the length of time she was afforded in which to review the draft prenuptial agreement and the due diligence performed on her behalf. So keep that in mind. The due diligence performed on her behalf. Okay. So Jeezy said that when Jeannie Mai signed this prenup, she listed her current attorneys, Kessler and Curson, as people who she knows or believes to have knowledge of facts supporting or tending to support her claims and contentions in action and or whom she intends to call as a witness in this matter. Okay, so now this is where things start getting good. Jeezy and his team are essentially asking, so how legitimate are these lawyers? We know them by name. Jeezy admits that these are some high-powered, high-profile lawyers that Jeannie hired, but at the same time, he's asking, like, is this only a name? Like, how are you guys really in practice? Because it doesn't make sense that you guys looked over the prenup for your client, and now here you guys are circling back saying that this prenup shouldn't be enforced because it might be illegitimate because your client didn't have enough time. And so now your client, who I'm divorcing, wants you guys to serve as witnesses, but also as the lawyers. It doesn't really make sense. Okay. And so now this thing is getting super duper creative. I have never heard of anything like this. And I wonder if Jeezy is going to win this motion. Let's take a listen to what it is that he said in black and white. Given the fact that Mai has questioned her ability to effectively review and negotiate the prenuptial agreement, which due diligence process would have been spearheaded on her behalf by Mr. Kessler and Mr. Curson, and further has questioned the financial disclosures of Jeezy, which financial disclosures were reviewed by Mr. Kessler and Mr. Curson, and then specifically mentioned the quote compressed time frame of the overall negotiation process, Mr. Kessler and Mr. Curson would presumably be offered by Mai to present testimony on her behalf in support of those alleged circumstances. So did you catch that? Right? he said again, let me go back. These people spearheaded the negotiation on her behalf. They told her to go ahead and sign this prenup that already included the financial information that she is now claiming might not even be legitimate. So again, who are these people? Are they Boo Boo the Fool, basically? And how is it appropriate for them to serve both as witnesses and as lawyers for her in this case? So here's the exact quote on that. In addition, and further underscoring the particularly problematic nature of Mr. Kessler and Mr. Kerson's involvement in this case, given Mai's contentions, Mr. Kessler executed a quote, certification of attorney at the time of the execution of the prenuptial agreement. That certification stated, in part, that Mai was fully aware of the meaning and implications of the prenup, and that all meaning and legal effect of the same was fully explained to her at the time. To me, that is a smoking gun. Certification of attorney. Uh, she claimed that she knew it all. Okay. Then he's saying that the claims that Jeannie Mai is presenting right now are therefore, for example, the claim that she was not afforded proper due diligence in the negotiation of the prenup, and the fact that she now questions Jeezy's financial disclosures that she previously did not question, although she had every right to do so. That puts her attorneys, Mr. Kessler's prior certification at issue before the court in deciding whether to enforce the prenup. So now, to wrap this up and really drop the mic here, Jeezy says that Kessler and Curson, Jeannie Mai's attorneys, cannot simultaneously be her counsel in this divorce and a quote necessary witness to the veracity of a contested issue in the litigation. Legal hotties, legal cuties, I need you to chime in. I have never ever heard of a case like this. I have never ever heard of a motion like this. This truly is quite stunning to me, and I wonder how much of a leg Jeezy has to stand on in this motion. To me, as a lay person, it feels like he is raising some very legitimate concerns. Like, who are these people? You know, they're the ones who told you to go ahead and sign this prenup. Everything looked fine. My finances look fine. Now here they are filing another motion saying, huh, maybe not. Like, it's stupid. It doesn't make any sense. And then on top of that, you want them to serve as witnesses. So they're going to get out. Who's going to cross examine these people as witnesses or whatever? Who's going to take their testimonies? Your lawyers need to hire lawyers to conduct these things on them as witnesses to this whole thing is a farce, and it's just too much. It is way too chaotic. Oh my God. Again, this divorce between Jeezy and Jeannie is shaping up to be very, very ugly, very, very contentious. And neither of them show any signs of backing down. It's a little bit crazy to me. Here's the thing. I feel like Jeannie's being greedy out of spite because she makes a lot of money, just like Jeezy makes a lot of money. They were barely married, dude. They were married for what, a year and a half? Like, the fact that they were fighting over a prenup after only a year and a half, 2 years tops of marriage is ridiculous. Okay. Like, how much money can you possibly be entitled to after 12, 13, 14, 15, 18, 20 months of marriage? Both of you should be able to go ahead and leave with what you came with. I don't like, again, I like Jeannie relatively, okay? I wouldn't say I'm a fan, but I like her. I enjoyed her on that show. I first met her on the E show, How Do I Look? And I loved her there. I used to watch that with my mom. And then I liked her on The Real. Yes, she would put her foot in her mouth from time to time, but don't we all, right? I never saw her as a malicious person, but she's a successful woman on her own. And she complained about her divorce from that guy, the Hunter Republican guy, Freddie. That divorce brings out the ugly side of people. You don't know who you marry until you're divorcing them, and they start fighting for money that you earned on your own. Listen, Jeannie, Freddie could have fought you for that money because he stayed married to you for 10 years. Like, that's a completely different story than this, right? Um, you guys were barely married, dude. Again, it didn't even last over 2 years. I think the maximum of this marriage was 23 months. So I really think that both of them need to go ahead and just leave with what they came from, came with. It's going to be quite funny if this divorce winds up lasting longer than the marriage did, for me as a spectator, but terrible for them, and most importantly for their daughter Monaco as well. It's all just so ridiculous, and I feel like this only just adds to the tension and the issues when it comes to handing off this child and whatnot, which just isn't good for the child at the end of the day. I'm rather surprised at Jeannie. I have to be honest with you guys. Again, after the way she sobbed over Freddie, her ex-husband, who she was married to for 10, 11 years, wanting a piece of some of her coin, like, I don't know, like this time she married someone who was financially her equal or better. And so you would think that she would keep that same energy and want for everybody to leave with what they came with, right? Especially after such a quick divorce. But I digress. Listen, maybe Jeezy is really, really super duper rich and this fight is worth it. Again, I don't know how much money you can get out of such a short marriage, but I guess Jeannie is about to help me find out. What do you guys think of this? Again, let me know what you think about the motion. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and do make sure to give this video a thumbs up so my videos continue popping up in your algorithm. That's all for now. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.